Hey, what's going on, LFA Youth family and the rest of the beautiful YouTube world? Welcome back to 260 and 260. Today we're going to be in Matthew chapter 8, and as you can see, we are on our spring retreat in Broken Bow, so that's why we have this beautiful scenery behind me, so I hope y'all enjoy that. As I read Matthew chapter 8 to you, we're going to be reading out of the New Living Translation, so if you wish to follow along with me word for word, that's what translation I'm going to be in. Chapter 8, large crowds followed Jesus as he came down from the mountainside. Suddenly, a man with leprosy approached him and knelt before him. Lord, the man said, if you are willing, can you make me clean and heal me? Jesus reached out and touched him and said, I am willing. Be healed. And instantly the leprosy disappeared. Then Jesus said to him, don't tell anyone about this. Instead, go to the priest and let him examine you. Take along the offering required in the law of Moses for those who have been healed of leprosy. This will be a public testimony that you have been cleansed. Verse 5, when Jesus returned to Capernaum, a Roman officer came and pleaded with him, Lord, my young servant lies in bed, paralyzed and in terrible pain. Jesus said, I will come and heal him. But the officer said, Lord, I am not worthy to have you come into my home. Just say the word from where you are, and my servant will be healed. I know this because I am under the authority of my superior officers, and I have authority over my soldiers. I only need to say, go, and they go, and come, and they come. And if I say to my slaves, do this, they do that. When Jesus heard this, he was amazed. Turning towards those who were following him, he said, I tell you the truth, I haven't seen faith like this in all of Israel. And I tell you this, that many Gentiles will come from all over the world, from east and west, and sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob at the feast of the kingdom of heaven. But many Israelites, those from whom the kingdom was prepared, will be thrown into outer darkness where they will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. When Jesus heard this, he said to the Roman officer, go back home, or when Jesus said, finished, he said, go back home because you believed it has happened. And this young servant was healed the same hour. When Jesus arrived at Peter's house, Peter's mother-in-law was sick in bed with high fever. But when Jesus touched her hand, the fever left her. Then she got up and prepared a meal for him. That evening, many demon-possessed people were brought to Jesus. He cast out the evil spirits with a simple command, and he healed all the sick. This fulfilled the word of the Lord through the prophet Isaiah, who said, He took our sicknesses and removed our diseases. When Jesus saw the crowd around him, he instructed his disciples to cross to the other side of the lake. Then one of the teachers of religious law said to him, Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go. But Jesus explained, Foxes have nests, and birds have nests, and foxes have dens, but the Son of Man has not even a place to lay his head. Another of the disciples said, Lord, first let me return home and bury my father. But Jesus told him, follow me now and let the spiritually dead bury their own dead. Then Jesus got into the boat and started across the lake with the disciples, and suddenly a fierce storm struck the lake with waves breaking into the boat. But Jesus was sleeping. The disciples went and woke him up, shouting, Lord, save us, we're going to drown. Jesus responded, why are you afraid? You have such little faith. And then he got up and rebuked the winds and the waves, and suddenly there was a great calmness. The disciples were amazed. Who is this man? They asked. Even the winds and the waves obey him. Verse 28, when Jesus arrived on the other side of the lake in the region of Gadarenes, two men were possessed by demons met him. And when they came out of their tombs and were so violent that no one could go through that area. They began screaming at him, why are you interfering with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torture us before God's appointed time? There happened to be a large herd of pigs feeding in the distance. So the demons begged, if you cast us out, send us into that herd of pigs. All right, go, Jesus commanded them. So the demons came out of the men and entered into the pigs, and the whole herd plunged down into the steep hillside where the lake was and drowned in the water. The herdsmen fled to the nearby towns, telling everyone what happened to the demon-possessed men. Then the entire town came out to meet Jesus, but they begged him to go away and leave them alone. Thank you guys so much for joining me for day 8 of 260 and 260. I'm proud of you for making it this far. Don't give up, don't quit, keep pushing forward. Day 260 is gonna come sooner than you know it. I love you guys, and I'll see y'all tomorrow for day 9 of 260 and 260.